All the class 9 students of St. Michael's Academy, welcome to another physical science class. Today I am going to start water. Now, first question is why water is called elixir of life. In your book, there are some points. I know if you will read, you will understand. So simple points has been given in your books. The other thing, overall view of this question I am discussing. Water is a very important natural resource which is required for every activity. It is known as the elixir of life due to its importance in the life of the living organisms. The sources of water are depleting and so there is need to save the reserves. Water, known to be the universal solvent, plays a key role in the survival of various forms of life on Earth. It is used for various purposes such as drinking, cleaning, cooking, washing, and bathing. Besides this, domestic uses, major amount of water is used in the agricultural sector, mainly for the purpose of irrigation. A substantial amount of this substance is also used in the industrial sector. So I have given you an overview of this question, that why water is called elixir of life. One thing you should remember, that this question is a 3 marks question. So if this question will come, please not only write down the points only, add these views also. Now, physical properties of water that influenced proliferation and maintenance of life. So, first one is state. Water exists in solid, that is ice state. Liquid and vapor states also. Normally, the liquid state provides a medium for life. Next one is specific heat capacity. Already it has been discussed in heat slide. Next one, latent heat of vaporization. It has also been discussed in heat slide. Next one is density. Is 1 gram per cc. Maximum means density of water is 1 gram per cc. Maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. Ice has low density. Water freezes on the surface. So aquatic life can survive in water below, even in winter. That means it is connected with anomalous behavior of water. That has also been discussed in heat chapter. Next one, latent heat of fusion of ice. It has also been discussed. Boiling point. What is the boiling point of water? All of you know, at normal pressure, boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. Normal. The boiling point of water depends on pressure. If the pressure increases, the boiling point increases, and vice versa. Pressure cooker works on this principle. The high boiling point of water helps us to cook our foods. The high boiling point of water is applied to sterilize surgical instruments in boiling water at higher pressure. Now last one is solvent properties. Water basically used as solvent generally. So water is a good solvent. Why? Because it is in liquid state in wide range of temperature, 0 degree to 100 degrees Celsius at 1 atmospheric pressure. It has a high dielectric constant and value of this is 80. Water is a polar solvent and it dissolves most of the ionic compounds, acid, bases, etc. It acts as amphoteric solvent, that means acts as base by accepting H plus ion to dissolve acids, and acts as acid to donate H plus to dissolve base. For example, when hydrochloric acid or any acid reacts with water, you know, hydronium ion will be produced along with that particular anion. So like this, when water reacts with ammonia, ammonium hydroxide will be produced. So many covalent compounds like sugars, alcohols, amines dissolve in water. Air and many gases dissolve in water in small amount. So water can dissolve large class of compounds. So it is called the versatile solvent. So these are the physical properties of water. Now surface tension. The tension of the surface film of a liquid caused by the attraction of the particles in the surface layer by the bulk of the liquid, which tends to minimize surface area. Why is the surface tension of water so high? Water has a high surface tension because the water molecules on the surface are pulled together by strong hydrogen bonds that present in water molecule or in the structure of water molecule. Because the molecules are more attracted to each other than the surroundings. However, if you keep adding water, the force of gravity would take over. Now please see the diagram. Because of water surface tension, so high surface tension, that James clip in the first diagram, it is floating on the surface of the water. Next one, water striders can walk on water because of the surface tension of water. That means just think about that. This particular insect is walking on the surface of the water. That means the molecule of water is strongly attracted or strongly bound by the hydrogen bond. That's why surface tension of water is so high, so that that insect can walk. Natural water is not pure. It contains dissolved salts and air. So there are some importance of dissolved matters in water. The dissolved salts are essential for the growth and development of plants. The dissolved matters add taste to water. These dissolved salts supply essential minerals needed in our body. Solubility of oxygen in water is more than that of nitrogen. All natural water contain dissolved air. Since oxygen is more soluble in water compared to nitrogen, so air dissolved in water differs from ordinary air. Now, importance of dissolved air in drinking water or in water. First, we are discussing about oxygen. Second, we will discuss about carbon dioxide. So, first one, dissolved oxygen is one of the most important indicators of water quality. It is essential for the survival of fish and other aquatic organisms. Oxygen dissolves in surface water due to the aerating action of winds. Oxygen is also introduced into the water as a byproduct of aquatic plant photosynthesis, whose equation is 6CO2 plus 6H2O. In presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, it will form glucose, that is C6H12O6 plus 6O2 plus heat. Now, how does dissolved oxygen affect water quality? Adequate dissolved oxygen is necessary for good water quality. As dissolved oxygen levels in water drop below 5.0 milligram per liter, aquatic life is put under stress. The lower the concentration, the greater the stress. Oxygen levels that remain below 1 to 2 milligram per liter for a few hours can result in large fish kills. See the diagram, overall view I have given about the dissolved oxygen. See, dissolved oxygen trapped in lighter layer, phytoplankton bloom, thrives on nutrients, dissolved oxygen from wave action and photosynthesis photosynthesis, decomposition of dissolved oxygen, and dissolved oxygen used up by microorganism respiration, that is called hypoxia. The nutrients released by bottom sediment, dissolved oxygen consumed. Fish able to avoid hypoxia. Why? Because the layer of the water that in generally within that fish live. Now, importance of dissolved carbon dioxide in water. Why is carbon dioxide dissolved in water good for aquatic plants? It can dissolve in water 200 times more easily than oxygen. Aquatic plants depend on carbon dioxide for life and growth just as fish depend on oxygen. Plants use carbon dioxide during the process of photosynthesis. So carbon dioxide is one of the most important gases that dissolve in the ocean. Some of it stays as dissolved gas, but most reacts with the water to form carbonic acid or reacts with carbonates already in the water to form bicarbonates. Many plants and animals use the bicarbonate to form calcium carbonate shells. So calcium carbonate, when reacts with carbon dioxide and water, it will form calcium bicarbonate, that is CaHCO3 whole twice. See the diagram. From solar energy, from atmospheric carbon dioxide, dissolved carbon dioxide is dissolved in the ocean or in the water. Carbonate ion produced, organic matter is also produced. After that, carbon storage by sedimentation. So this is the total process. I have tried my best to make you understand. Hope you have understood. Quality parameters of drinking water. Water with more than 300 mg per liter of hardness is generally considered to be hard, and more than 150 mg per liter of hardness is noticed by most people, and water with less than 75 mg per liter is considered to be soft. From health viewpoint, hardness up to 500 mg per liter is safe, but more than that may cause a laxative effect. That means harmful effect. Quality of parameters of water include color, turbidity, pH, and the organoleptic, that means aesthetic parameters or taste and odor. See the diagram here also. In gist, I have given some points. Parameters for drinking water qualify typically fall under these categories: physical, chemical, microbiological. Physical and chemical parameters include heavy metals, trace organic compounds, total suspended solids, and turbidity. Microbiological parameters include coliform bacteria, E. coli, and specific pathogenic species of bacteria such as cholera causing Vibrio cholerae, viruses, and protozoan parasites. Now, the drinking water must possess the following qualities. 1. Must be clean, that is free from suspended particles. It should be free from soluble salts like arsenic, fluoride, chloride, nitrate, etc. It should be free from pesticides, various types of pesticides, fertilizers, contaminated to water bodies from farms, free from any harmful chemicals deposited by industrial units. It should be free from harmful microorganisms like typhoid, cholera, and dysentery. And the pH of drinking water should be 6.5 to 8.5. So these are the qualities or parameters of drinking water. Now, potable water. What is this? Potable water is defined as water that is suitable for human consumption, that is, water that can be used for drinking or cooking. The term implies that the water is drinkable as well as safe. Now, a few chemical substances affecting the potability of water and their maximum prescribed limits in potable water I am telling you. Number 1, coliform cell per 1000 milliliter should be less than 5000. Total bacteria count per 100 milliliter is 1 into 10 to the power 6. pH limit 6.5 to 8.5. Dissolved oxygen 6 milligram per liter or 6.0 milligram per liter same. Arsenic 0.05 milligram per liter. Fluorides 1.5 milligram per liter. Fluoride 600 milligram per liter. Thank you students. For any doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. Again and again I am telling that I am not getting any queries, not even the homework also. Although I am giving very small homework, then also I am not giving any homework back. I am not getting any doubts. So that means you have understood all the things that I have given you till date. Then also if you have any type of queries, then please email at given email ID.